What up, bros? Can all hear? Bulls on Wall Street. Holy shamoly, holy panzeroni, holy pepperoni. Dude, the pump is on. Was on, man. This GME has come back from the dead. We're going to take a look into the indexes today and, of course, tomorrow's game plan, as we always do. But let's just take a moment of silence and bow down to the kitty cat, the roaring kitty, the pet the cat. And also, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the short sellers, the bankers, and the powers to be that get, right? It's always nice to see. But no, seriously, this was pretty interesting because after he had made his post, the stock ended up getting shorted quite a bit and ended up, even we were short for a hot second for like 10 minutes. And you just had this epic kind of, dump for a day, got cut in half. And then it started to kind of pick up steam and pick up steam and pick up steam. And, today it was kind of hanging out and it didn't look, like anything crazy, but, it just started to really, you didn't really see much volume coming in. And then all of a sudden, it started to kind of peak out just a little bit and a little bit. And, and this is a thin stock. And so, once you start getting into these kind of, right, million shares, 5 million shares, a candle type of thing, things can go pretty nutty. And, here you are right at $66. They, just a mental note to men, they love to walk this stuff up after hours, when the liquidity is low, because you can do it on a handful of hundreds of thousands of shares. You'll see that actually quite a bit. But hey, man, respect out to anybody that crushed it. I know a bunch of the guys in our chat room, Armando, and dude, Armando, he ended up having his best day. Dude, he's still trading this fucking thing after hours. Dude, give it to the stock hunter. Bow down to my man. He runs our options team, but he actually was taking equities on this too. So he was, he was so balls deep on this thing, and it was pretty cool. Like, you look at the freaking averages on this 30, 32, 33, 35, 36, 34, and, he posted around 2 p.m., like, he ain't canceling no orders, and he started to really go for it, and it was pretty cool to see, and so big ups to these guys. I mean, awesome run. Holy cow, like, you can't beat that. So everybody that participated, good job. Now on the other side for us traders, we have some things to kind of keep monitoring for tomorrow. On the QQQs, we had a little bit of a rest day. I would consider this an inside day, and it does, nice bullish rest day, allows for a nice tasty Friday, if we can, right, get our normal, kind of benign Friday data. It may not even matter. And, everything else, the spec money and everything else is still probably flowing around. So it looks pretty good so far. I think, tomorrow, obviously, the focus, for most traders is going to be probably GME and, the offshoots of that, right? AMC just broke over the 200-day moving average. Then you've got costs. Right, I think this one is still pushing. So you have a handful of these. Guys, I will not chase these things up, My thinking most likely is the kitty cat's going to go on, I think, live. He goes on. And guys, by the way, just offshoot, get yourself a little news service. These things start to come out. You need a PR service at some point. This is like $30 a month. It's nothing crazy. But, like these were coming in. We were in the chat room, like, all of a sudden this stuff started to come out and holy crap, like, you're getting the heat on this. And right, so like you want to be, you don't want to like necessarily trade news without price action, but it's nice to just be aware of stuff that's going on, right? And so get yourself a little news service, and it is always just a worthwhile investment because, you people will spend $30 on commissions. They'll spend $30 on borrow fees. They'll spend $30 on anything, right? But you're not going to spend $30-40 on a news service. Like, that's kind of crazy. So let's just kind of be mindful of that. So game plan for tomorrow, right? Obviously, Nvidia is doing its split. Nvidia is going to be doing its split post-market on Friday. Let's see if we get a little bit of a sell the news event. If we gap up on this, I'll start looking for a potential fade on this. I think, it's set up to do it, but only on a gap up. If it gaps down, I'll just leave this thing alone. I don't have any dog in this one. If it's not going to gap up, then I'm just going to be chilling. Now, on the other side of things, man, there are some names here that are still setting up here. We had, obviously read it on our watch list yesterday. Still following through on this one. Beautiful range on this. Let's keep a look at that. The Bitcoin stocks are still, Bitcoin itself is still just marinating here. You can see this IBIT is just, man, it's just percolating right under here. Will it happen over the weekend? That's usually how they like to do it, so then we have to chase everything on Monday. But, dude, keep an eye on this. A lot of the miners just had a little bit of a rest day. BTBT did. The Wolf Nation, which we've been putting on for, 3-4 days, is still going. But I think a lot of these other ones still got a little bit of a catch-up to do. So, you got BTBT, you've got HUT. You have a handful of these that I think can still go. I'd probably leave Mara out of it because this thing is just a damn bad trader. I've been trading this thing for years. It's a bad trader. Every time it looks juicy, it just falls away. You're better off kind of hooking up with coin or something along that end. But even this is at the top of the Bollinger Band. So unless it, if it gaps up, like I probably can't trade something like this, even though I really, like the pattern. Now, if today was just a rest day in the semis, then, AMD had a pretty power move, for 6 points. When I start seeing that, because usually it's been in the reverse side. Every time there's been a pop, it's been fading back and power move to the downside. So there's a little bit of a change in character on this. Let's see if it ever does come out of this range. We saw the same thing with Tesla today. Usually these kind of we've been getting all these flushes down, but all of a sudden of recent, they've been starting to get bought up, right? So like you have a change in character here. You're flushing down and they're getting bought up. And so, my thinking is this is actually getting ready to go. And, where the trigger is doesn't really matter because, if Fugazi's a lot. And so I don't think this is a line drawer, kind of thing. You're going to have to watch the price action, level in, sell out, re-hit the dip, and do that a couple times because of all these wicks. Every time you think it's good, it's become bad. So, like, you still want to, if it breaks out, you want to sell into probably that first push and then hit a retracement and see if it holds. Otherwise, you'll be just puking all weekend like, oh man, I ruined, an awesome gain. And that's what this stock does to everybody. So just kind of be mindful of that. AVGO, I like for a potential swing trade. If this can just kind of have another inside day, let that 9 EMA catch up, I think that one's going to be looking really, really zesty. The TTD had a rest day, so this is an inside day. It's ready to party for tomorrow. A 98 breakout, I think, is going to be in the cards. Inside day on ENPH. These kind of stocks, they love to go on Fridays. Guys, for Friday scans, you want to run inside day scans because with the options, the zero DTEs, these more expensive stocks love to get pushed on Fridays. And so I want you to put this one on the watch list. I want you to put Taiwan Semiconductor on the watch list. If it has a weak open, red to green, this is a very tight range today. I would consider this an inside day. Ignore this just like little thing over here. I would consider this an inside day. So I want you to kind of look through some of these kind of things. I think that thing is going to look zesty. Now, I think FSLR may have a chance. It's an expensive one, but tomorrow you could get a little bit of little Friday fun bags. Let's add this bad boy to the list. And, out of the large caps, Amazon had a very interesting day today too. So let's see, if this kind of has a weak open. I wouldn't want to chase this thing up, but definitely you got to like the remounts on this one and the overall kind of structure to this. So let's keep a good look on this one. Qualcomm's got the same thing. We've got kind of really rest days. If the market holds, we could bust through on these kind of inside day setups. right off the get, sometimes opening tick on Fridays, first candle. So you got to be ready, have your pre-market levels, drawn up. And guys, don't worry about getting too much FOMO on the GMEs and stuff like that. Today was an awesome day. Big ups to all these youngsters in our chat room and the oldster stock hunter, walking everybody through his thought process, minute by minute, letting everybody know he's canceling all orders, man. Canceling all orders. I thought that was fantastic, right? So, guys, big ups to all you guys. Let's go have some fun tomorrow. Friday's always the funnest day to trade. The most, nerve-wracking sometimes, but the funnest. Let's go have some fun. Love you guys.